doing? Let me tag Miss Francine so she knows to add to the group. Give me just a second. How are we today on this big old Thursday? I'm so excited today because I get to geek out and do what I love. If you're on, tell me hey. I'm going to hang out and wait till Francine grabs on and adds it to the group because I've got some pretty cool information to share with y'all today. We've got lots of anatomical terms that we're going to use today, and I don't want y'all to space out on me because I never got into science either or any of that stuff until it was in the area that holds my love. Hey Amy, thanks. Hey Rhonda, how are you? Oh, hi guys, how are y'all? So I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna let a few people join, make sure Francine adds to the group. How are y'all doing today, guys? Are we having a good day today? So we got some pretty awesome information today on the basics of skin. Oh, you having a great day, Rhonda? Good, I love that. I'm having a pretty awesome day too today. If my sinuses and my allergies would leave me alone, then life would be even more fantastic than it already is. So, let's see. Okay, so if you're on, tell me hey so I know who I'm hanging out with. I'm gonna let a few people get on, y'all. I'm sorry if I'm taking a minute, but I just wanna make sure, I hopped on at like straight 5. So I know that there are some people that are trying to get home and hop out of their car and whatnot, and I don't want anybody to miss all the hullabaloo about skin and what it does. Because if you're a nerd like me with cosmetology and the beauty industry, you want to know all of it. Oh, look, my nephew's on. Hey, bub. I'm calling him out. Y'all saw that video that I posted last night on my Facebook? He got into my makeup and was making fun of me, so I got the best of him. So y'all tell me hi. Say hi, say hey, something. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started. I haven't seen anything from Francine, so I hope she has it going. For those of you who want to watch. So today, this is, Francine approached me about y'all forgive me, I forget what she's calling this series, but it's a skincare series. She approached me about doing the first class, and I don't know, for those of you, let me back up. Those of you who do not know me, my name is Mia Sanama. Hello, nice to meet you. I have been in the cosmetology industry for about 21 years now, almost 21 years. 18 of those I've been licensed as a cosmetology educator. It's been a minute, disclaimer, it's been a minute since I've actually taught a class. These lives have been so much fun for me because I feel like it brought me back to what I love to do. And that's sharing my knowledge and what I do and what I know. And that's not to make me sound like a know-it-all, because I'm sure there's these beauty gods in the world that know so much more than I do, and that's okay. So I'll just share with you what I know, and you do what you will with it. and know that, hey, Francine, are we good? Can I go ahead and get started? I was kind of waiting on you to hop on to say. So, in my world, no, you're not late. Well, okay, maybe a couple, but I wasn't going to call you out on it. You just called yourself out on it. So, on the road trying to find a dress. Girl, are you really still trying to find a dress? I'm sorry. That is awful. So I might be a procrastinator, but I think you might be more of a procrastinator than I am. So I'm going to go ahead. Thanks, Francine. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So y'all hear us all the time on these lives preaching about you need this skincare, you need this. Hey, Keisha, how are you? You need this toner, this moisturizer, this serum, this eye cream. And it sounds like such a hoax. Well, I'm going to tell you scientifically today, anatomically, why we sit here and we're telling you the things that we're telling you. There are some long terms in here. There are what people may think are sleepy moments in this, but this is me sharing my big why to you as why it's so important to use great skincare. And obviously, because I'm sitting here representing pharmacy, I believe that our products are the best. So with that being said, today I want y'all to chime in and tell me hi, tell me hey, ask me questions, because I really want to interact with y'all. And if I don't know the answer to a question that you're asking me, it may take me a little bit to figure it out, but I promise you I will throw in the comments your answer. It might be tomorrow morning because, you know, I've got kids of my own and a family and all that fun stuff, but I will do my absolute best to get an answer to you. So with that being said, today I'm going to geek out. Today we're going to talk about the purpose of the skin, all its layers and how they function. Are y'all ready? This is like a scientific story time for me. So, skin's purpose. Does anybody know what skin's purpose is? Did y'all know that our skin is the body's largest organ? Did you also know that the average person's skin, if detached, hey Lori, what's up, sister? The average skin's person, or that one came out backwards, sorry y'all. The average person's skin, if detached, could cover an area of 2 square meters, which is like 15% of your body weight. Y'all recognize that? So here's everybody talking about a diet, and we're going to talk about, you know, different systems of the body and how we need to be preventative in taking care of it, and how we need to go on diets, and we need this and that and the other. Hey Kelsey, how are you? Oh, you've enjoyed watching me? Oh, thanks Kelsey. You need to tell me hey when you hop on, girl, so I know you're there. I like to know who I'm talking to. So with that being said, I feel like to some extent our skin and us actually taking care of it is kind of thrown to the wayside. I feel like because there are so, hey, if y'all are hopping on, tell me hi so I know who I'm chatting with. I feel like there are so many cosmetic companies that create all this makeup and all this coverage and this and that and the other, which is great. But so 15% minus my scale weight is my, yes, there you have it. Yes, you remove your skin and it's 15, you subtract 15%. Yes, that's a good way of looking at it. You're welcome. Your excuse to eat whatever you want today. So I feel like skincare is somewhat visited when we hit our aging areas,
but not preventative wise. And that hurts my feelings. And I'm gonna kind of go through some facts and figures and terms and things, like I said, that might make y'all sleepy, but I'm gonna do my best to explain to you why it's so important to be preventative about your skincare. And it's good to do corrective maintenance on your skincare, but it's so much more important to be preventative. I'm just throwing in some little fun facts. So your skin is the thickest at your feet and thinnest around your eyelids, which is why it's so important that we're gentle with our eyelids, and why we need to get those pedicures or grab our little exfoliation foot paddle thing and get all that excess skin off. So I'm gonna hop right in, and I'm gonna get really boring. I'm gonna take y'all back to science class. Dun, dun, dun. So your layers of skin, I don't think people realize how many layers are in our skin. So we've got the epidermis. Y'all forgive me, I'm trying to see and show you at the same time. It's so much harder to teach a class over Facebook Live than in person. So your epidermis is comprised of 5 thinner layers. The epidermis is your tough layer of cells and is the outermost layer of the skin. It gets its toughness from a protein called keratin, and I know that's a familiar term for y'all because what else is made of keratin? Our hair, yes, and our fingernails, not these, obviously these are press-ons, I'm calling myself out, but nails, your natural nails. So the epidermis is made of 5 layers, like I just said, and I'm going to try to show you this where you can see it and where I can see what I'm showing you too. So we've got, as you can see here, epidermis, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of those are in the epidermis. So your first is called your stratum corneum. And I promise y'all that there is a point. There is a reason I'm telling you this. Your stratum corneum is made up of dead, mature skin cells called keratinocytes. These cells are constantly shed and replaced by cells from the lower layers of the epidermis. These cells have lost most of their internal structures and organelles. So, your stratum corneum is what you will see. This is my stratum corneum right here. So you're going to, that area is where you get all your dead skin cells. That's where, when we talk about exfoliating and sloughing off all that dead skin so our skin can glow and whatnot, that's the layer that we're speaking of. So did you know that your skin constantly sheds dead cells? Did you know that about 30,000 to 40,000 cells every minute is shed through your skin, which is nearly 9 pounds per year? So Amy, add that to your 15%. You lose 9 pounds per year without recognizing it. So, and your dead skin, this is something else that's interesting to me, comprises about 1 billion tons of dust in the Earth's atmosphere. So when you are dusting your house and you're kicking your own moody about, oh, we're so dirty, there's so much dust from the field outside or from the gravel road. I remember my mom losing her mind about, oh, my furniture's so dusty, this gravel road just kills us. Forgive me, Mom. I don't mean to mock you, but that's what it is. Oh my Lord, I know, right? So, most of what you dust off of your furniture is dead skin cells. Pretty gross, right? But pretty cool, kind of in the same nerdy area. So, hey, if y'all are hopping on, y'all tell me hi, because I want to know who I'm talking to.
I love seeing these names pop up, but I don't want to call you out unless you want to talk to me. So, but with that being said, I just thought that's mind blowing. But still, we've got more that we can shed other than what our body already does. We can shed so much more. So I told y'all I'm a nerd on this, and y'all just gotta bear with me. Amy, stop. Hey, Lacey. No, you're good. You're good. I don't think we covered much yet. So your next layer, let me pull up my little picture again, is your stratum lucidum. So can you see where this goes? So it's right up under that area where you see, when you think of skin, you think of your stratum corneum. So now we're going to go to the one right underneath that. So your stratum corneum is made up of, I'm sorry, I just went to the wrong thing. Stratum lucidum, I have my notes in front of me. If y'all see me reading, that's why. This is so much information to remember on the top of my head. And if y'all know me, I'm squirrely as all get out, so y'all just forgive me for that. Your stratum lucidum is found in thicker skin and helps reduce the friction. Hey, Camille, how are you? Oh, you liking this, Lacey? Good. Maybe you can teach me something about teeth one day, because I've always been fascinated with that, but kind of grossed out with the idea of dealing with other people's teeth. I just, so your stratum lucidum is found in thicker skin and helps reduce friction between the stratum corneum and the stratum granulosum. So if you see stratum corneum, stratum granulosum, you see these two here. So right in the center, you've got this guy as kind of a buffer to help with, y'all excuse the squeaking, I'm sitting in my salon chair and I'm not used to sitting, so I'm up and down. So it's composed of dead flattened cells, and that's really, you'll find that in a thicker skin. Oh, you got teeth. Good. I like teeth. So your stratum granulosum, and y'all, I know this is a lot, just bear with me because I'm getting to a point, I promise. But I feel like in order for y'all to truly get the why of skincare and having great skincare and understanding why you need what we recommend and what it does for your skin, I feel like you need to understand the basics of what the skin is and what it does, okay? So your stratum granulosum is where the keratin is formed. So if you look here, remember that layer I just showed you down here? So it's a little further under the skin that you know of. So it's where keratin is formed. The cells in this layer also produce materials that prevent evaporation. So cool. Which helps waterproof the skin. Do y'all know we have waterproof skin? Did y'all know that? Pretty awesome, right? So the stratum granulosum helps. Hey Heidi, what's up, girl? So the stratum granulosum is what creates the materials that prevent evaporation. So that helps us to waterproof. So your stratum basal is the next thing, is our next layer, and our last layer of which I'm trying to find it on here. Oh, here we go. So they have a different scientific term here, but stratum basal is our last layer in our epidermis, 5 layers, okay? So it forms the deepest layer. The cells of this layer continuously divide and form new keratinocytes that replace the ones that are constantly shed. So whatever we're losing, that big old number that I told you that we're losing on a daily basis, this guy, Mr. Stratum Basal, is what recreates those. So he kind of keeps the production going. So this guy also contains melanocytes, which are the cells that produce skin coloring. So all of you sun worshipers, you can thank Stratum Basal for your tan. And all you white people like me, very, very white, that burn first and then tan, you can thank the stratum basal for the red, and then for the brown and all the peeling. So, there's that. Oh, you didn't know that. Okay. So, the dermis, we're moving on. Are y'all with me? Y'all have any questions, comments? I'm trying not to be boring. I'm trying to be interesting. Y'all just bear with me because I have this is a new experience for me. Teaching or talking about facts and figures on Facebook Live. I usually have my class in front of me, a little desk with their little manipulatives and their markers and whatnot. So, trying to keep it interesting. Y'all bear with me. So, your dermis, which let me show you here. Your dermis sits right up underneath your epidermis. So, you've got this chunk of skin, and now you've got this chunk of skin, right? So, your dermis is where so much of your magic happens, in the skin at least. So you've got collagen and elastin that make up the majority of the dermis. How many of you have heard of collagen and elastin? I bet there's more people that have heard of that than they've actually heard of the layer. You want to know why? Oh, thanks, Francine. I was hoping somebody would be interested in it, because I am. I love it. So the collagen and elastin are what we deal with losses of when we start to age, and I'll get further into that. I'm just trying to get y'all introduced to the layers and what they do, and then we'll talk about how those layers get affected when we age. So, oh, you loving this too, Lacey? Good. So your fibroblast, which is the type of cell that creates collagen and elastic tissue, is in this layer also. So the dermis layer includes also blood and lymph vessels, which are in charge of delivering nutrients to your skin and removing byproducts or toxins. So that's pretty important, right? So your sweat glands live in the dermis. We need sweat glands because they push the sweat through your pores, which serves both to cool your body and to get rid of toxins, which is why when you exercise and you sweat, your skin glows. Aha. So that's why it's important that you exercise so that your skin looks great. Does that sound crazy? It removes all the poisons out of your body and your skin. So there's that. Your dermis also houses your hair follicles, which is the root, like the root of your hair, like where your hair grows from. And oil glands, which produces your oil that softens your skin and smooths it. And a lot of people hate these oil glands because they're a little too enthusiastic sometimes. And they result in your breakouts and greasiness. But again, that's why we need to understand what's going on with the skin to understand the proper care and why these crazy pharmacy chicks are sitting here preaching about you need our skincare, and you need this, that, and the other. So there's reasons, I promise. So together, the epidermis and your dermis form the cutaneous layer. So together, we're talking about this whole situation here and this whole situation here, right? So that creates the cutaneous layer. So the subcutaneous layer, which is the area below the skin, the area that we don't think about when we think of skin. When we think of skin, we think of the surface and what we can see, because we're visual beings, right? And what we can see is what we believe a lot of times. So your subcutaneous layer lies underneath your cutaneous layer, and sometimes called the hypodermis. Sorry, y'all. And the superficial fascia. You may or may not have heard your dermatologist use that term. It holds most of the body's fat
So it varies in thickness from one person to another. Pretty cool, right? So we're all made unique. Just saying. I'm amazed at the body and how it works. So your subcutaneous layer is like a thermostat. Y'all, God's creation is crazy to me. I'm sorry, I just have to say that for a minute. It's pretty awesome. Can y'all imagine? Wow. So, I'm sorry, I have to think about things and whoa. So it's like a thermostat. It insulates the body and also serves as an energy reserve in a pinch. So when you go into starving mode, which I know we use that term loosely, starving. I'm starving. No, we're not really starving. We're just hungry. Because if we were truly starving, our body has ways of picking up the slack and hey, we got some extra here, so it's the ultimate teamwork. So it's really, really cool. So, it's also, your subcutaneous layer is also like a padding that protects your muscles and your bones and organs against injury. It really is, everything works together, right, Lacey? I mean, it's the epitome of teamwork. It really is. So next time you're trying to teach your kids teamwork, be like, hey, let me tell you the story of how the dermis and the epidermis work together. I know I'm such a nerd. Sorry. So, it's sort of like your protective padding, that protects your muscles, your bones and organs against injury. So, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. It contains more blood vessels, nerve endings, the roots of your hair follicles, and the deepest sebaceous glands, which create oil. So you oily skin people, oh, really, I'm a smarty pants? Thank you, Heidi. I think that's a compliment. I'm going to go with that. I've never been called that before in my life, but thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm going to give you another little fun fact about skin. I'm sorry, Amy. I am corny. I can't help it. That's why we get along. Okay. I'm going to give you another little fun fact about skin because I think they're too cool. So your skin is home to more, hear this, more than, not just, more than 1,000 species of bacteria. Excuse me, what? 1,000 species of bacteria? I didn't know there were that many. But your skin is home to more than 1,000 species of bacteria. So when you watch my live or Lacey's live, Amy's live, Francine's, any of those, and we're preaching to you about how you need to be cleaning your makeup brushes and how we need to be washing hands before we touch our skin or just not touch our skin and don't pick. I'm not about to get into, because I will really gross you out, I'm not about to get into the types of bacteria that are under your fingernails as you're picking your skin, with the already more than 1,000 species of bacteria on your face. I don't think I need to say any more than that. So when we're preaching to you about washing your brushes and not touching your face and all of the above, that's why. So we also know that, or maybe we don't, but when skin that is severely damaged, it may try to heal itself by forming scar tissue. How many of you have scar tissue? Scar tissue is kind of a crazy thing. Most of us don't like it. I mean, unless you want to look like you're tough and you want to have all these cool guy stories about what happened in school, whatever. I'm not really into it, because those are marks that weren't supposed to be there. But there are scars that I
treasure and value, and they are my C-section for my babies, or my scar tissue under my chin from when I was playing with my cousins, and being a silly kid, I hid somewhere, or I may or may not have, hid somewhere around a tractor plow blade and tripped and landed. So all of my scars are really, really cool memories for me. So you may or may not like scars, but your scar tissue is different from, hey, if you're hopping on, tell me hi. It's different from your normal skin tissue because it lacks hair and sweat glands. Pretty cool, huh? So going back to your skin layers, now let's talk about how aging affects these skin layers. Y'all hang with me, I promise there's a point. So, interesting something. Did y'all know that within the next 5 years, 50% of our population, of the US population, I'm sorry, will be, wait for it, over the age of 50. What? You heard me. In the next 5 years, I'm going to repeat that for those of you who may have been sleeping from all the scientific terms. In the next 5 years, 50% of the US population will be over the age 50. And guess what? So will the skin. So, now it's time to start caring about those skin layers and what you need to do to prevent your wrinkles and your fine lines and such. So, the average cell, just so you know, takes about 28 days to complete its journey to the surface of the skin. You'll be 60. Heidi, you'll be 50. I'm sorry. That's okay. We will all get there at some point. And you know what? It's about owning it. And it's about having the healthiest, most beautiful skin that you can have at that age. And knowing what to do to enhance what you have. It's not about calling yourself old and obsolete and all of the rest of it. That's what we're here for. Just saying. So the average cell takes about 28 days to complete its journey to the, Amy, you're cracking me up. To complete its journey to the surface of the skin to be sloughed off. The journey of a cell. You work your way all the way up to the top layer of the skin for it to do like this. We're done with you now. Sorry for you. Moving on. Pretty depressing, but pretty cool all in the same. Of course, that depends on your age, your health, and your environmental influences. Realistically, things begin to decline naturally. Listen up. All you little youngins that are being cocky about, oh, my skin's still pretty, I don't have to worry about it. I remember being that. I remember being young and cocky and overconfident about my skin. No, wait. I was never really overconfident about my skin because I had acne problems. Sorry, Sil, here comes the phoning, right? Moving on with you. You got to go. So, realistically, things for our skin in the way of production and all the I'm sorry, I'm cracking up with y'all. All the things having to do with aging, the production of all the good things, they start to naturally decline in our late 20s. So by the age of 25, y'all listen up. The age of 25, that's so young. The production of our collagen and elastin begins to decline. Do y'all know what that means? That means we
have a slow decrease in firmness and elasticity. The process of cell turnover begins to decline. So here's the depressing part. 25, and you start slowly going down with your cell production. So do y'all see why now we preach the eye cream, the serum, the moisture, the eye cream, serum, moisture, the exfoliation? Listen when we tell you. We're not just blowing smoke up your ear. Just saying. So your natural cell turnover process begins in the basal layer of the epidermis. Remember, that is, let me pull out my little chart because I'm a nerd and I'm going to show y'all. Begins in the basal layer, which is way down there. So that basal layer is where your natural cell turnover process begins. And then the mitochondria, which y'all don't get sleepy on me, mitochondria are responsible for providing the cells with energy. They produce free radicals that are a byproduct of the energy that they create. When we're young, our body uses these free radicals for numerous critical functions, including the health and development of muscle, bones, and the nervous system. So then when we stop developing, guess what happens? Your body goes, wait. We're going to hold off for a minute. We're going to pause. We're going to slow down production. It's like an assembly line, y'all. Like our body recognizes and speeds up and slows down where it needs to. It's a pretty cool creation. So as we age, our body loses its ability to rid itself of the free radicals. The mitochondria slow down, which means your cell turnover is depleted, and internal free radical damage begins. Say what? Internal free radical damage. Yeah. So with a 28-day cell cycle, does that mean it will take that long before we may see results? Yes, absolutely. So you got to give your skin at least, I always say give it at least a month before you judge on skincare, on new skincare. Absolutely, positively, great point. I'm glad you put it there, Amy. Thanks for that. So you see, I am getting somewhere, and my little nerdy friend catches on, and she's getting it with me. Anybody else getting it? Can I get an amen somewhere? Somebody? Please tell me I'm not alone in this. So, where was I? Okay, so in addition to that, fibroblast cells, which are responsible for your production of your collagen and elastin, they no longer produce collagen or elastin once an individual becomes fully developed. I mean, I didn't fire them. Why am I going to have to suffer? Because y'all know what happens to your skin when your collagen and your elastin stops being made? We start getting thin skin and our skin starts sinking, and I have some really good visuals to show y'all on that, but I'm not quite there yet. So your production of your new collagen and elastin is triggered by external supplementation or by the infliction of damage on the skin. Exfoliation, microneedling, microdermabrasion, the list goes on. Laser repair. So all of these things tell the body the skin is injured. Okay, now we're going into emergency mode. We need to start creating that collagen that we used to make, that now we've slowed down and spared our ingredients. So anytime your skin is damaged or wounded, which means we exfoliate, any of those things, it creates collagen, and collagen gives us a plump, firm look. So there's that. Anybody have any questions on that part? Sorry, that was a kid apparently dropping something upstairs. Those kids. So your dermal changes. In your dermal area, the aging process begins here. So your collagen and elastin levels begin to deplete, just like we started talking about. Hey, if you're new on, tell me hey. I know this is getting really, really technical and whatever, but tell me hey, just so I know you're here. Your free radicals cause a cross-linking and hardening of the fibers, resulting in a lack of firm cushion for the layers above. Here's my visual. Are you ready to see a visual? Sorry, I'm kicking stuff here. So, what is it? Sorry, I can't find it. Aha. So I am going to relate our aging skin to a spring-loaded mattress. You ready to see why? Let me fold this in half. I'm going to show you young skin versus old skin. Okay? So, first let me show you a mattress. This is the innards of a mattress, or how some mattresses are made. So you've got your firm base, right? And then you've got your springy, soft, cushy, bounce back spring area. And then you've got your other soft layers, and then you've got your outside layer that's made of your tough canvas material that protects all of this, right? So it's very reminiscent of skin. So let me compare the two. Can y'all see any likeness in those two? So let me flip from younger to older skin, and you can see the difference here. Can you see how where this was really, really firm, it's now kind of frayed and weak looking? And so because of the lack of support down here and in here, this is starting to drop into your low areas. Y'all, it's just like when we have a mattress that we've been using for years and abusing. The only difference is a mattress, it's inevitable. We're gonna have to change it. Our skin, we can't change it. Hoo-yah. Amy, really? So, what I'm trying to get across to y'all with all these scientific things is it's so crazy important that in our early 20s, if not even before that, that we teach our kids proper skincare. And if we're going to let our girls play in makeup, we need to teach them proper application of makeup and sanitary measures. So important. There are so many whys in all of this. So with that being said, your hormonal changes within your body, right, Heidi? I mean, I keep trying to teach my daughter, and she looks at me and, I know, because they all know it, right? They know everything and they don't know a darn thing all at the same time. Teenagers. And I was the same way, if not worse. So your hormonal changes within your body play a key role in the skin maturing. The process occurs during menopause, but a key role in the skin maturing process occurs during menopause when estrogen levels decrease. So low levels of estrogen produce a decrease in glycosaminoglycans, which is used in the body as a lubricant or shock absorber. Did y'all know we had that? Because I didn't until I started reading up on all this. So those are found and produced in the dermal layer of the skin. So of course, decreasing these can decrease in the lubrication, in your suppleness, your thickness, and your healthy glow of the skin. So when you decrease all these things, that's when we start to get our crepey, really transparent, chalky, tired, saggy skin. So again, can I just say how important it is? Preventative maintenance. And this, guys, from the inside, this is water in case you're wondering what's in here. We should have at least 8 glasses of water per day. If you're not drinking that, you're not doing enough to hydrate your skin and keep all of this and all the layers we've been talking about supple and plump and happy. Because we know it's inevitable, we're going to lose all of those privileges that we have when we're young. So we need to do everything we can dietary wise and hydration wise from the inside, because we know that even our serums, as deep as they get, they don't go past those first 5 layers of skin. And we just learned that our aging process happens or starts to happen below that. So, your decrease of natural shedding of the skin results in a dull and uneven appearance and rough texture. So that's what I was saying when I said we start seeing that dull kind of chalky look. The decline results in naturally drier skin. So that's why as we get older, our skin starts drying up and needs more moisture. We kind of look like we belong to the lizard clan, because the more moisture we put, the more our skin wants. So the key lipids within the top layers of the skin are created from a breakdown of cells in the process of keratinization. Hence, when this process slows down, the epidermis becomes drier and thinner. Exactly what I just said in scientific terms. So the lack of protection in aging skin also causes it to become more susceptible to sensitivity, as well as unexpected reactions to aggressive treatment methods. So as your aging process continues, the lack of cell renewal also contributes to increased visibility and sporadic skin pigmentation, a change in skin tone and unevenness or natural color. So as we get older, we start to see these blotches of colors in our skin. And that's just what it's saying. It's just a lack of cell renewal, which is why when we do these laser skin treatments to fix it, it fixes it for a small period of time, but it happens again. Because remember what I said about we're injuring our skin to make it boost up productivity on collagen? That's what's happening. So it boosts productivity on collagen, repairs the problem, and then we go back to being in dormant mode. So, to end all of this madness, so here's where I was going with this. Every one of us vary in age, activity, health, heredity, product use, and behaviors. What we can agree on is mature skin is skin that has a decrease in cell proliferation, suppleness, moisture, firmness, and elasticity. It appears dull and presents with a range of visible aging signs that include hyperpigmentation, which is what we just talked about, lines, wrinkles, and uneven texture. So we can influence some of these changes, but only by completely understanding what they are and what caused them. So if we understand, which is why I'm giving you this nerdy class, is so that you understand the big why behind skincare. And the fact that you can buy the most expensive, most pigmented makeup and it'll work.
and it'll do the trick. But why do that when you can take care of your skin and be able to wear our makeup, which is probably better, or I know it's better, than the most expensive one, because it has less toxins and junk in it that harms our skin. So if you can take care of your skin, keep it in healthy condition, and not be ashamed to walk around outside with tinted moisturizer on or the CC cream that we sell, why wouldn't you? Because the fact of the matter is we're all going to age. It's part of the process. But aging gracefully is different than just plain old aging. And the fact that you can look around at people your age and go, how are they the same age as me? Is going to be enough for you to take care of your skin. Because it will show those of you who take care of your skin versus the ones who don't. All the makeup in the world is not going to take over a good skincare regimen. So, we need to work with what we have and what we know. Our first objection, sorry y'all. Our first objective is to keep the skin as youthful and healthy as long as we can. Thanks, Shanna. I'm so glad somebody agrees with me. The sooner we start, the better. We need to promote healthy cell renewal, hydrate, nourish, and protect. Do your due diligence. Research your products and ingredients. Research, research, research. I cannot tell you that enough. Just because a bottle says it's great for you, you need to look behind the bottle and see what it is in that product and why is it great for me, and make your own decision. Because so many of these companies claim, this is great for you, use it. It's natural. It's not. Listen, poison ivy is natural. That doesn't mean I should go rub it all over my skin. So, bottom line is aging skin is not a disease. It's simply just a byproduct of our life. It happens. We know it. Let's embrace it. Take care of it. Know that we've done our best, and our confidence will lie in that. So it's something to take seriously in considering the plan of attack and recommending your correct products for you beauty influencers. You know, it's really important to listen to your customers and to their complaints, even though you may be rolling your eyes at all these complaints of their skin or their skin. So let's find the happy. Let's find the good part of what their skin does, and let's run with that. So tell me your favorite part. That's my favorite thing to tell my customers is, tell me your favorite part about your skin. Now tell me your least favorite part. Now let's meet somewhere in the middle, because we know we won't be able to completely fix everything on the skin because of everything I just told you. You know, lifestyle, activity, all this other stuff. Everybody's kind of responsible for their own thing, and sometimes it's a little too late kind of thing. So all we can do is help repair and rejuvenate what's still there. So we just need preventative maintenance. We just need to start early enough before we start having issues. And truly, I mean, isn't that with everything? Isn't that with everything? I mean, we think about the body in general. God's given us, when we're born with this amazing unit that we get to call ours. That the systems, and sometimes they glitch and they do whatever, but the body's so resilient. We're born with this crazy awesome unit that we get to call ours, and it's our job to take care of it. whether it's diet, you know, whether it's certain organs. Just, it's our responsibility to take care of it. So I hope that you guys got something from this. I hope that I was not too nerdy and too termy for y'all. I really, really worked hard to make it not so boring. So hopefully it wasn't. And I hope that you had an aha moment somewhere through this live. And I really want your feedback on anything to do with this. I'm always challenging myself to do better, so I really want y'all to tell me what I could have explained that I didn't, or if you have questions or concerns about what I did tell you, drop them in the comments. And like I said, it may take me a day or so, but I will get back with you and I will answer your questions. And if I don't know them right off, I'll do my best to research it and get with you. So if you're a customer sitting on this live and watching, know that your beauty influencers with pharmacy, we're always networking. And we're always, if we're in doubt of a decision that we're making for a client's well-being, we're always picking each other's brains. So trust your beauty influencer and know that we're not perfect, we're human, but we are constantly educating ourselves and training ourselves in skincare and makeup and all the ingredients and what they do for your skin and against your skin. So I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I enjoyed doing it with you, and I hope you enjoyed it just as much. So thanks for watching, and if you're catching the replay, please comment replay so I know that you watched. Thanks again, and I will do my best to hop on tomorrow, talk about something. Oh, I know, the brown eyeliner, I got it in today, so we'll do that tomorrow.